Welcome in. Thank you again for tuning in for episode 3 of Second to None, season 2. We are ready to talk some football today. Guys, what's going on? Ken, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. I'm ready for Auburn football to get started so we can just shut people up out there.
Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Had a horse show last night. Got a concert tonight with In This Moment and Listen White. So I'm going to rock out after this. I'm doing great. Great to see y'all.
Hey, how'd your daughter do?
She did great. She got she won or was awarded several points last night for her.
Okay.
Band, but she was able to present the flag during the national on her horse. I was really proud about that. Really.
Absolutely. I would be proud too as a dad. Jason, my man, what's good with you?
Man, Michael, I'm doing amazing. We're enjoying the riches we have at Georgia football. I tell you what, when we can lose a 5-star number 1 safety in the nation and none of us even blinked an eye, we're like, okay, he's gone. Next, that feels good. And still, by far, the number 1 recruiting class. I mean, looking at a historical class, I think we're going to beat out that Texas A&M group. What do you think?
It's going to be pretty interesting. Matt, how you doing down there in UK land?
I'm doing good. Ready to go. Ready for Kentucky football season to open up. We got some big times coming.
That is true. As a Kentucky fan, my own self. Hey man, we're just ready to first of all thank all you guys who's taking the time out today to watch to help support us. We really do truly do appreciate all of that. So really thank you guys so much for doing it. We got a few guys that's going to be missing today, but you know what? We're just like football teams. Next man up. We keep rolling, man. And this is what Second to None is all about. We're here to give you guys a great time, talk some football, and let's just we got like a little special segment for you today, a little face-off today between Auburn and Georgia. So that should be very interesting as well. So this is something that definitely Kenny could not wait for. That is which it seems Kenny loves his face-off. And hey, if you guys know anything, Kenny is all about facts. Okay. Kenny wants to give Kenny is all about, let me give you some facts on why Auburn Tigers are the team of 2023. And that's pretty amazing. So I'm looking for some information and everything. But man, this is going to be a great show, guys, man. College football is right here on us. And I just feel like, no one can, I think I speak for everybody, but I think that everyone's ready for college football to be here. Georgia's looking to do a three-peat. No one in the nation thinks they're going to do it except Georgia fans.
Oh, everybody thinks we're going to do it. Just read the Vegas odds.
Even Vegas odds.
They all think we're going to do it.
Hey, Ken, and as Georgia fans will say, those are facts.
Those are facts, man. They say they're gonna put their money where their mouth is, right?
That's it.
Well, all I gotta say, there ain't nobody in this podcast or probably listening to this podcast that was alive the last time somebody three-peated. So the odds of them three-peating are as slim as like Vanderbilt winning the SEC championship. So let's just be honest.
Oh boy, I think we got much better odds than that. Let's just be real.
I don't, and I'm gonna give you facts.
I want to hear the facts, man. And you know what I want, Michael? I want I'm telling you right now, if there's anybody I ever want to be for me in life, it's going to be Kenneth. I've never seen a man that he'll ignore every reality in the world to stand by his man. I'm telling you right now, that's a friend right there.
I tell you what, your Georgia fans. Oh, I'm sorry, your Auburn buddies and fans. They must really like you, Kenny, because you put a lot of pressure on your Tigers to be successful. I mean, until Georgia is dethroned, you gotta respect them, man. You know, you have to go in until. I mean, everybody's already saying Alabama ain't gonna win it, so everybody's kind of, like, hey, maybe this is Georgia for a three-peat. I, as a Kentucky fan, not to be unbiased or whatever, I don't see them three-peating. But hey, that's just me. I'm a Kentucky fan.
Notice who's not here today.
Yeah.
Michael. There's a reason Wes didn't show up today.
Yeah.
He knew we were going to be talking about Georgia today.
Yeah, it's an all-out Georgia day here on Second and None. So I was looking for the breaking news from Chris. I couldn't actually find it, so I'll come back to that in a little bit. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to go ahead and just jump in to this debate. Georgia plays Auburn. I think it's in Auburn too, right?
It's in Jordan Hare at 8:15 on ESPN the last Saturday in September, folks.
Oh, yeah.
And folks, and you heard that from Kenny. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna let these guys face off in a minute apiece, face off, and I want Kenny before because Georgia gets to go last since they're the champions and they get the rebuttal whatever you say. We're gonna let Kenny go first for about a minute, and then after that we will for sure let Jason say what he has to say, and we're gonna keep rolling into our main topic tonight, which is gonna be each guy will go around and reveal their top 5 wide receivers. So with that being said, Kenny, the floor is yours.
All right. So everybody knows, I said it Tuesday night, Georgia does not beat Auburn this year in week 5. Reason why. First, let's start with Brock Bowers. He's the only thing you're bringing back on offense. Last year against Auburn, with a crappy head coach before we fired him, Auburn only allowed Brock Bowers 2 catches for 36 yards. Better than any team out there that they played last year. Any of them. And we was crappy. Here's my problem, though. You're bringing in a quarterback. Last year, the only time he played is when Georgia had 30-point leads. 30-point leads in the fourth quarter, middle of the third. No kind of hostile environment, no kind of crowd noise, none of that. Nothing. You're telling me you're going to bring in a kid to where his first 4 games are at home this year against cupcakes? Because the first 4 games Georgia plays they're cupcake games. South Carolina, yeah, it's a cupcake. I said it. They don't have the talent to compete with Georgia. Now, here's why I say Auburn beats them. Your 5th game of the season. Night game, Jordan Hare Stadium. Probably one of the loudest places to play, especially in a rival game like this, at night in Jordan Hare Stadium. This kid, that's going to be his first test against a loud crowd, hostile environment, close game, to where one mistake could cost Georgia the game. One mistake.
Time's up. Okay.
Okay, Kenneth, do you remember what happened the last time we came to Jordan Hare Stadium?
I sure do.
Okay, what was the final score?
I don't know. Y'all blew us out.
We
didn't have.
Okay, that's. I just wanted to make sure you remembered that moment. Okay, so we're not afraid of Jordan Hare Stadium. We've come in there and done this many times. Actually, I think even with Gus Malzahn, we that's nothing new to us. Jordan Hare apparently is just not the intimidator for Georgia. But not only you missed, man. I would love for Auburn to underestimate us, thinking that all we got is Brock Bowers, because Brock Bowers is just one piece, man. I mean, we've got. Our wide receiver room is more loaded right now than it's ever been in the whole history of Georgia. Ladd McConkey is an SEC All-American right now on the first team. I mean, you're talking about Ladd McConkey and Brock Bowers. Then we got this guy named Arian Smith. You might have saw him against Ohio State when he was screaming down and catching touchdowns. I mean, this guy, he's the fastest player in all of college football, and he's one of our wide receivers. He wasn't healthy last year, but he's coming back healthy this year. I need to see your face. You keep covering I need to see you when I'm talking to you. So then we've got this guy, Dominique Lovett. Are you familiar with Dominique Lovett? Dominique Lovett was a Missouri guy, and he is just dominated in the SEC, even though they didn't have a good quarterback, didn't have a good offensive year. But I'm telling you right now, Dominique is going to be one of our best. He's in the slot receiver this year. That guy is incredible. We may have 2 wide receivers with 1,000 yards. It's the first time in Georgia history we've had since Terrence Edwards. It's a big deal for us. Brock Bowers, I believe, is going to have a massive monster year. Nobody can stop the guy. We can't find anybody that can cover him. We got the best defense in all of the SEC, and these guys are scrimmaging against them day in, day out. I don't know, man. You're talking about Auburn. Now, listen, I'll give you this. Hugh Freeze is going to come in and turn that program around. There's no doubt. But you're asking a lot to expect him in the first year to come in and do something. Listen, Nick Saban didn't do a first year like that at Auburn. Kirby didn't do a first year like that at Georgia. I do not expect that this is going to be your winning season. I think it's going to be a building year for you guys. I'm not saying that you're not eventually going to be respectable again, but Auburn's going to struggle. And I tell you what, Georgia is going to dominate. They're going to walk in there and they're going to steal your soul and take it home with them back to Atlanta, just like they did the last time we came to town. I got a minute. How much time I got left? I'm just going to sit here and look pretty.
I was trying to help Wes out and got booted out. I ain't helping another Alabama fan.
I just
give
thought
up.
I chased you away, Kenneth. I thought you decided to go home
No.
today.
I was trying to comment to Michael to let Wes in, and it booted me for some odd crazy reason.
Mm.
Wes,
Mike
Wes,
keeps forgetting
Wes.
to unmute himself.
Wes, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Jeez. All right, from now on, no muting for me no more. Just straight up, you guys will hear me. I ain't muting myself no more. I try to be cordial, and I keep to unmute myself. But hey, thanks for joining. Well,
Can we get to mute? Can we mute you?
I don't think you can. Maybe I don't think you can. I wish.
So mean, Wes.
Hey, I just need to mute my own self on purpose, for real. So, but hey, well, Auburn, Ken, you really wanted to do that face-off. It didn't really work out too well for us to be able to use, but I think people got the point is that Georgia's probably going to beat you guys.
No.
It appears that
I'll put
Hugh Freeze
$100
is still
on it.
going to be
Everybody
building.
can be witness to it right now. Kenneth, I'll put $100 on that game. I tell you what,
I don't-
if
I-
you
I don't
win,
want
you don't have to
$100.
pay me nothing.
Yeah.
Hold on.
If you-
Jason, I don't want $100. I just want you to get on the podcast, a live podcast, and sing the Auburn fight song when Georgia wins.
Hey,
The
Jason,
whole song.
Is that the
Well,
same?
when
Is that
Georgia
glory,
wins-
glory?
Jason,
What?
I'm not going to sing the fight song
I
when
said,
Georgia
if
wins.
Georgia wins, do you sing
No, if
glory,
Auburn
glory, or
wins-
when Auburn
Au-
wins, you sing glory?
if Auburn
glory?
wins, he
Either
sings
one
Auburn
of you know
fight
your
song.
own damn fight song.
Yeah,
No,
I'll do it.
you'll do it? Is that a yes?
Absolutely.
Y'all
I'll
heard
sing
it
whatever
here.
song you want
Y'all
me to
heard
sing
it
if
here.
Auburn wins.
That's it.
Y'all heard it here.
All right.
the last time Kenneth lost a bet, it took him about 4 times to try to call the hogs right. He can't do it.
That's it. Okay,
Hey,
moving on.
look,
No, we got to move on, Ken. We got to move on. Wes, hey, what is your quickly? What is your thoughts on the alignment and what's going on with college football right now?
I mean, dude, we're in the SEC. It doesn't bother us. Like, dude, nobody's poaching us. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to lose our shot at the national championship. Like, we live in the best neighborhood. People
We
are
do.
still just trying to get in. Okay.
Okay.
And Commissioner Sankey is not going to be he's not going to be reactionary. Everything that we do is very calculated. We are the reason that football is like this. Like, think about it. The first time when we added South Carolina and Arkansas, we added them so that we could have a conference championship. We were the first conference with a conference championship. All right, which led to the BCS, the birth of the BCS. Then the birth of the BCS is what led to the college football playoffs. So we are the leaders in college sports, in every sport, by the way. So we want to go to baseball. We instituted a pitch clock before everybody else. Major League Baseball is doing it now. We've been doing it for a decade now. You know, so yes, Auburn's big brother did just join the show. So like I said, I think we're in the best neighborhood and the best, in the best conference. No one's coming for us. And if they do, we'll let them know what happens. Like Georgia took care of business last year. We took care of business, the previous times. Like, here's the deal: the only time the SEC ever loses in the playoffs or in the championship game is when they run into other SEC teams.
That's it.
Georgia beat Alabama, and Alabama beat Georgia.
Or unless Auburn's playing in the championship game, then they get beat.
That
Hey,
wasn't technically a playoff game. That was the.
Look what
When's
we
the
did.
last time Arkansas been there?
We absolutely embarrassed TCU. Shouldn't even been there.
The national championship game.
When's the last time Arkansas was there?
When was the last time we blew a 21-point lead in the national championship game?
When's the last time you even made it to play? I mean, I don't even think none of us was alive.
I would.
You're talking about things that are irrelevant to you.
There.
You ain't even made it to play there, so how do you know what it's like?
Y'all were
Kenny, you're like 22 years old, man. You were barely alive last time Auburn played 10 years ago. So why don't you shut it?
I'll be 40. Hold on, Wes. I'll be 40 next
Were you
month.
going to your 8th grade dance?
I'll be 40 next month, Wes.
Dance?
I'll be 40. I was a grown man when Auburn won it with Cam, son.
All right.
But I do know this. I'm coming after you.
I heard you guys are changing your name.
To what?
Go from Auburn Tigers to the Auburn Hectors.
No, you're just trying to hate on us. It's okay, though.
Here's what.
It's okay, though.
Freeze he's looking for a sponsor to help him and his team with the NILs. And the best thing you can think about were Trojans.
Yeah, okay.
Greatest Trojan warrior. Supposed to be the Auburn Hectors, and the code name for hot chicks in opposing towns are Achilles. Because that's what Hugh Freeze is. You know what Georgia's going to do? Georgia's going to stick about 25 pretty co-eds right behind the Auburn bench during that game, and Freeze ain't going to be able to concentrate.
I do have a question, Mike. Here's a question though. Do you think I was talking to other Mike?
Yeah. I realized that.
Mike, do you think that Hugh Freeze is smart enough this time to not put his burner phone on the Auburn account?
He probably
the Facebook people already hitting it up.
Yeah.
Hey, my last segment today. Y'all just keep talking. I promise you.
But then again,
Wes missed it.
Then again, Mike, I don't know if I would throw a whole lot of shade about burner phones because Houston Nutt got caught with his too.
Yeah, but if you have Houston Nutt, man, no one likes Houston Nutt in Arkansas.
Yeah.
You don't have
a
phone, and you don't ride a motorcycle, and you'll be.
That is true.
Hey, Wes, by the time the show's over, Kenneth's going to tell you how Alabama's going to beat you on. He has facts. That guy, he's got facts for everybody. I'll tell you. I didn't hear no facts though. I was
actually, my last thing I'm going to talk about tonight. I'm glad Wes joined me because I want his insight, and I'm going to tell you now.
Well, it won't be an insight if you have the last word.
I'm going to close it out, but I want Wes to actually, without interrupting me, I want Wes to listen to me all the way through, and I want him to tell me why Alabama fans are like this.
Okay,
we're like, what?
We'll get to that.
You'll find out. You're gonna find out.
Before we actually go to and start our top 5 wide receivers, one of our sponsors for Bones Coffee, I'm gonna just let you guys see it.
What's the difference between these two identical cups of coffee? Everything. Everything. Boring, basic coffee is leaving you dead inside. Thank the Dark Lord, there's Bones Coffee. Small batch, full-bodied coffee infused with the most mind-melting flavors in the world. Or underworld.
Oh, I've had flavored coffee
Oh,
before.
I've had coffee before. You haven't had Welcome to the highly caffeinated, slightly wicked, and immortally delicious world of Bones.
There it is, Bones Coffee. They have like 33 different flavors. Right now, you can use promo code DOGBONES for your 10% off. People say that they got some good flavors, so you should go check those out. Once again, get 10% off. Promo code Dog Bones for your coffee. I know it's a lot of coffee drinkers out there. So let's just get into these wide receivers, man. Going in alphabetical order, team-wise, we're going to kick it off and let Wes start with your 5.
All right. Well, I'm kind of sad that Dustin's not here because, he would see that I actually am not a homer here because, and I actually am objective when I do things. I think that the best receiver in the SEC this year is going to be Brew McCoy from Tennessee.
What's your what's your top 4 and what's your bottom 4?
Well, we don't care about the bottom. We always start at the top because I'm an Alabama guy.
Okay, that's okay then. Okay, Alabama always got to do things different. Georgia, hurry up and show them the right way, okay?
Look, the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then.
Yeah,
He was like Georgia did it, and then Alabama. No. Georgia did it 2 times. It was Alabama way back when.
Yeah.
You mean in 10, 11 and 12?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. All right, Wes, go ahead.
I think Brew McCoy in that system. I think he's kind of a burner as well, and he's got a guy that can throw the ball like a country mile. He probably has this arm not just in college football, but in all of football. Now, my second one, this one's gonna maybe surprise some people, and I kind of wish our Missouri fan was on here because this is the only nice thing I'm going to say about Missouri all year. Because as you can remember last year, I don't think Missouri deserves to be here, and I don't know how they got here. They are the kid in the room that snuck into the party and nobody kicked them out. But I think Luther Burden actually is going to be the second best receiver in the SEC. The kid was a monster last year as a freshman in Missouri with a terrible offensive line, a terrible quarterback, and he still put up really good numbers. They called sweeps for him. They called end arounds. They called all kind of stuff for the kid. It came down to Missouri and Alabama for this kid, and somehow Missouri landed him bag of money. I'm not surprised if he ends up leading the SEC in receiving. Malik Neighbors at LSU, I think is going to be, that one's tough. He could put him 1 through 3. Malik Neighbors has got a good quarterback as well. It's going to be in year 2 of the system. And they've also got another top receiver that you could put possibly in the top 5 as well on the other side. That'll take some pressure off of him. So I think Malik Neighbors will do well. Ricky Purcell at Florida, I think is a monster as well. The kid showed up really big late in the season and came on heavy late. He had some really good. He did well against Georgia. He actually showed up really big against FSU in the final game as well. And then my final receiver is Ja'Cory Brooks at Alabama. I think with some of our receivers that we've lost, and him getting the practice against, quite possibly the best secondary in the SEC every day, and getting to learn from guys ahead of him, how to, become a receiver like Devontae and Henry Ruggs and guys like that, Jalen Waddle. I think he's the 5th best receiver in the SEC.
Okay. Appreciate that, Wes. Mike, you're up. I got your top 4 and then your number 1. Okay.
All right, I got Franklin at Ole Miss. I know he came over from UTSA. Runner, be a good one with your Kiffin system. I'm like Wes. I think Neighbors at LSU is going to be a pretty good year. At 3rd, I got Dominic Lovett. I like the guy. I think Lovett's going to be season. This is number 2 for me is a crazy one. Smith at A&M. I just think with Petrino down there as OC, I think he's going to bounce back from his injury, and I think I can see him being like a Jarius Wright or a Joe Adams from Arkansas. I think here. And my number 1, the defensive backs collectively in the SEC West, because Auburn's quarterbacks will throw so many interceptions, that the defensive backs of the SEC West, number 1 receiver in the
Oh, y'all leave that poor boy alone. He can't even defend himself.
Oh, I'm fixing to defend myself.
Hey,
I got Wells from South Carolina. I think you have that here, and those are my top 5. But I think the top 3 throw in a hat and draw for the top positions. That's going to be good.
thanks, Mike.
I agree. It was kind of tough me leaving Wells at South Carolina off there, and it really was tough with me not putting an Ole Miss receiver on there in that system.
Mhm.
It's just I don't know, like, who's returning, like which guy's going to get the share of it.
Chris says West whining
Chris,
about
hey,
Missouri
Chris is too
giving Lovett
chicken to
a
even
bad
get on the
decision.
show. Chris is too chicken to even get on the show. We're talking about receivers and skill positions. Vanderbilt's not allowed in here for the next 6 weeks. Hey, guys, when we rank the top 5 water boys, Chris, you are on it.
Kenny for president.
Hey, I guess Wes is fixing to bash me because I guess I'm going next in alphabetical order, and
Yeah.
it just sucks. It just sucks that Chris wants to bash me all the time, talking about I got hate for Vanderbilt, but
All right.
coming in at my number 5, I picked a Vanderbilt receiver, but he's always talking about me trashing Vanderbilt. He better feel lucky that I gave him some love. I have Will Shepherd at Vanderbilt at my number 5. The kid gonna break out this year. He almost did it last year, didn't do it, but it's okay. I believe he's gonna do it this year. My number 4 is Malik Neighbors at LSU. Okay, number 3 is kind of a toss-up. I'm stuck between 2 receivers. More at Auburn and shorter at Auburn. I don't know which one's going to have the breakout, but they're going to come in at number 3. My number 2 is Franklin out of Ole Miss. And my number 1 is not even a receiver. I asked this question before I started. And I'm going to be honest with you, Jason. I'm giving you some love because I respect the kid. The kid is great. He will have a long career in the NFL at a tight end. My number 1 in the SEC this year is Brock Bowers. Who's going to stop him?
Amen.
Who's going to stop him? That's the question I want y'all to ask.
Not Auburn.
I mean, all I'm saying, Jason, Auburn only allowed him two catches for 34 yards last year on a crappy offense, on a crappy defense, bro. The best of any other school did against Georgia. I mean, even TCU, and y'all blew them out.
Yeah.
I mean, just saying. But Brock Bowers is my number 1.
Awesome.
I knew he had to be on somebody's list. I wasn't sure, but
He's on
I knew
my list.
I knew someone had to put him on the list.
Somebody
We
didn't
got the
understand
University of Kentucky up. Matt, what's up?
Well, what's going
your
on?
Top 4.
Well, I'll go with Malik Neighbors from LSU. He's an awesome player. He's going to have a great year. And then I'll go with Ladd McConkey of Georgia. We know how good he's going to be. And then I'll say Antonio Wells Jr. from South Carolina. Then my last 2, I think they're going to have great years. 2 would be Dana Key, and 2 would be Berrien Brown. That'd be my top.
Wes, go ahead and explode, dude.
They're so fast. They're gonna run. They're gonna run from Tennessee to Kentucky. Nobody will catch them.
Nobody. Hey, Matt, appreciate that. Showing some UK guys some love. They got some big shoes to fill for sure. So let's see what kind of year they have.
Who's gonna throw them the ball, guys?
You know who's going to throw him? Devin Leary. And you know what? Devin Leary's going to be ready to throw against Alabama.
And guess what? Just like Mike said, our DBs are going to have a whole lot of catches during that game too. Good prediction, Mike. Good prediction. Hey, real quick note: doesn't G come before K in the alphabet?
I thought so too.
Yeah, my fault, George. My
He's
fault.
just saving
Well, you know
the
what?
best for last. He's saving the
Well,
best for last.
Jason, I don't have yours. That's why I didn't put it up here.
Man, somehow I missed the assignment. I've got it though. I've got my list, but I don't know where it is. Sorry. That gets lost in there's so many comments and everything in that little thread we got,
So
Well, if you weren't taking care of all those parking tickets, you
I was
It's
hoping
called
somebody.
NIL. It's called
So-
NIL.
Hey, so who corrected me on the alphabet? Was that you, Wes?
it was.
Yeah, Wes. Yeah, you're muted. Anyway,
It's muted.
you're muted. Don't correct
Muted.
the host, okay? Okay, you know what? Go ahead, Georgia. I'm gonna go ahead and put you on. Go,
My
Georgia,
number
for your
5.
top 5.
Number 5 is Malik Neighbors, LSU. I agree with that. I think my number 4, I'm going to give West some love. I think Ja'Cory Brooks in Alabama is going to have. He's obviously they got to have at least one wide receiver is going to have a big year, and then I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to be a homer. My last 3, I'm going to go with Dominique Lovett for my number 3. Nobody's heard of him at Georgia yet. They knew him from Missouri, but I'm telling you, everything I'm hearing coming out of camp is this guy's just tearing it up, man. I mean, he's really going to have a big season, I think. Then I've got Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey, guys, just a special kid, man. Runs after.
I'm surprised nobody has that guy.
I know, he's just incredible, man. And then I gotta go. Me and Kenny, man, we agree on this for sure. Brock Bowers, he's my number 1. He's not even a wide receiver, but he's going to be our top receiver. He'll have over 1,000 yards this year. I'm telling you, the guy's incredible.
Dude, okay. So you put 3 Georgia guys on there.
Yeah.
You went with a Missouri guy who's like, I'm not buying them. Like, if you're gonna go with a receiver, how are you not going with the other transfer out of Mississippi State and Ra Thomas?
He's not doing anything, man. That he's in fact in all the spring training stuff and all the fall camp, he's been way down at the bottom of the line. Everybody, I've written many stories about this. They have these are the guys that are starters. They have them all up front, and that Dominique is always at the top of the line. He's always the one getting the most reps of the ones.
Okay,
Ra-Ra's getting the.
If you trust all that, then you trust that, like Kirby and all the reporters think that you don't have any quarterbacks to throw him the ball.
Correct.
That's been
Correct.
overrated. That's been overrated. Carson Beck, let me tell you about Carson Beck. First of all, this guy, he's been in our system for 3 years. The guy he was our second string before Stetson took a step over him. But the kid is dynamic. I watched it. I was sitting there at our spring game, and I mean, dude, it's just one sweet throw after the other. He perfect timing with all the receivers. I mean,
when nobody can hit him and he's wearing a black jersey.
I get that. I get what you're saying, but
7-on-7s. I mean, hell, everybody looks good in 7-on-7s except for your number 1 recruit that's coming in that got downgraded on 3.
Who?
Dylan. Dylan got he got downgraded and he got pooped on at the Elite 11s.
That's not what I heard. He's the number 1 football player
Just
in
go.
America.
That's not what you heard. No, he's not.
Yeah,
Go read the comments.
I will.
All the
I've heard the
coaches.
exact
All the
opposite.
all the coaches. You actually win. They put reports out.
Yeah, I didn't
You
see
win the
that.
day, and he didn't win
Okay,
a
but
single day.
let me stick
you
with
know
the
who?
subject.
You know who won every day?
No.
Yeah, the kid that committed to Alabama.
Oh, of course.
There you go.
You think that's not? Listen, I know the media is in y'all's pocket. It's not a big deal. They're sucking up to Nick Saban like crazy right
It's
now.
not
for
the
some
media.
reason.
It's the coaches that are
Y'all
there.
got David Pollock fired from ESPN for God's sakes because he crushed Saban's soul like that. But
That's good. Okay. All right, we're gonna keep moving on because of course we can do this forever. Hey Jason, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Indy, the other Matt, he sent in his list too, so I'll read his as well. He has number 5 with Burden from Missouri, Will Shepard from Vandy, Wells Jr. from South Carolina. He got Brock Bowers from Georgia, and his number 1 is Malik Neighbors from LSU. I've been hearing this name. He must be pretty good. I look forward to actually seeing what this guy can do this year too as well. Dustin, Tennessee fan. Actually, Matt, he's a Missouri fan. He couldn't be here. Next is Dustin for Tennessee. I did get my alphabet right? Somebody help a brother out here.
we don't want to get muted, Michael. We're not
doing the right thing. Wes, you can say it. It's okay.
Hey, Vandy's last no matter what. They're always last.
Always.
in every way.
Every way. Oh, so Dustin, he gave me like a lot of write-up to put. The guy's so thorough. I should probably go through and read all of it, but I won't because he should be here. But I know he's actually enjoying a birthday for his dad, I think. So definitely enjoy that. Absolutely. But Dustin's top 5 wide receivers is number 5 is Squirrel White. First time I heard that name, I thought people just had a nickname for him. I had no idea that the guy's name was actually Squirrel. When I couldn't believe it. Like, okay, they must have had a really bad day that day. For real.
That sounds like
he got
some Kentucky stuff right there.
Yes, I know, right? So for number 4, he has Franklin from Ole Miss. Number 3, he also has Wells from South Carolina, number 2. And number 2, he has Ladd McConkey at number 2. That kid's good, man. I mean, I didn't know that guy, and I watched that guy play last year. And let me tell you, that guy's amazing. Like, I'm sorry. I love Kentucky. Kentucky's my babies. But just to watch that kid play, and as a football fan, you got to put some respect on the kid's name. You definitely do. You got to put some respect.
He was like number 1,000 something on the receiver. I mean, nobody knew who he was.
Ever who passed over him, I know they feel bad. So, and Dustin's number 1 is Malik Neighbors from LSU. Is LSU going to win the West? We'll talk about that another time, but it makes me curious to see if LSU has really taken over the West, or was it just 1 year and we'll see what happens. So I'm telling you, as a football fan, I'm never going to count Alabama out. Never.
No.
I'm not. So, hey, respect. I have to. I'm not being biased to West. I just think Alabama, they just,
They're the cream. They're
yeah. So that's it. So Vandy is last, and a lot of people would say Vandy is last in everything. And after UK beats Vandy this year, I don't want to hear anything else from Vandy.
Vandy by UK by 30.
All right, let me get into.
Auburn's gonna beat them by 50.
Yeah, there you go. He won't be over here next week neither. All right, here's Chris's what's today? So he got Dominique Lovett from Georgia at number 5, Malik Neighbors from LSU at number 3, Will Shepherd from Vandy, and he got Jermaine Burton from Alabama. And Chris's number 1 goes to Brock Bowers at number 1. So yeah. What, Wes?
He's got 2 Georgia receivers on his. That's pretty good.
He's a tight end.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's still going to have the most receiving yards as anybody in the SEC this year.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I just forgot to change the wide receiver to tight end. So that was my fault. Yeah.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you got all these guys putting a tight end on the list. It doesn't matter. That'd be like, ugh.
he is a tight end.
Well,
And
he's
he probably and he won't have the most receiving yards in the SEC. They don't throw the football enough. I don't care if he goes over 1,000 or not. They don't throw the ball enough.
This year though, that's going to change. I promise you that. You watch this. You watch. We'll have. It'll be a different offense this year. Mike Bobo's going to call.
Why would you change? Look, why, Jason? Why would you change your offense?
Oh,
You're
I'm not
playing a
saying we're
bunch of
changing. They
smaller,
always cater to
inferior
the
football
strength.
teams. Just run the damn ball.
I know, but that's
All you got to do is control the ball because
our
you play
strength is not our
Boober
running backs.
State week 1, Boober State week 2. You play the blind Marys of the poor week 3. Then you play South Carolina. You
We
play a
learned
bunch
from
of
the
Cox.
best.
South Carolina's
Then you
week
go-
3.
I'm sorry. Either way,
We
their whole
learned it from
they
the
got.
best. Don't you remember all
Oh
those?
yeah, you learned it from the best. Yeah, we open against people like USC, or we open against
tried.
Wisconsin,
We tried.
Or
We had
Texas.
Oklahoma.
or
That's not
Texas.
our fault. I can't wait to see you guys open up against Texas. That's going to be a game. I'm
But we
looking
open
forward
it.
to.
We have a different. We open against the first year we open against somebody. that's
exactly
not, like,
nobody.
Division 1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the truth
Pretty
comes out,
much.
Wes. You're trying to tell me.
And your biggest game of the year, you play at a neutral site. You go play Florida every year.
Yeah,
in
we hate that
Jacksonville.
too. We hate that too. Believe me, you're singing in the choir, brother. I want that in Athens. I want it home and home every year.
And your
Okay.
your in-state rival's real good too.
What?
Georgia Tech. I know. Hey, they have a hate Georgia practice going on though, so you know. Same as Michigan.
All
Yo.
9 fans that they have in their stadium.
I think Bama will too. Bama will eventually have a beat Georgia practice too.
So I have a question for you guys. Will any wide receiver be in New York with a chance to win to win the Heisman?
No.
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 All quarterbacks, huh?
I don't know. Of course, West is saying that Brock Bowers is not a wide receiver, but I think that he might have a chance of being the one non-quarterback that gets rated. He might. I don't know.
The thing is, though, man. Okay, go look at Devontae's numbers when he won the Heisman. Man, you're talking about Brock Bowers going to have to get like 100. He's going to have to get like 100 targets, man. You'll have to have like 80
He won't
receptions
have those kind
for
of
like
numbers.
17. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. For like 1,700 yards and 20 touchdowns.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah, I don't think he'll have that in Georgia. There's no doubt. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. The games, Georgia, and I'm not trying to. Georgia's competition is so weak that they won't be throwing the football in the fourth quarter, especially the first like five games of the season, man.
But we do.
So
have
he may come out of the first 5. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
The QB
so
competition will go on through the first 4 games.
Yeah, but when you got a QB competition, do you think they're really going to let him throw the football? Are they going to get him out there? You're going to get him in. I mean, I don't see Georgia having to throw the ball. And this isn't a Big 12, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Or what's left of the Pac-12.
Yeah,
I don't know. Oh Lord,
that's for sure, man.
Michael, can I bring something up real quick?
What's up, Ken?
It's the only way I can say it, and it's the only way I can say this, and I'm sorry if it's mean and it hurts feelings. But we got somebody in this group, for some odd reason, he believes it.
And your
In his
Wi-Fi
heart.
go bad.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
Kentucky-
His Wi-Fi went out while he was trying to talk smack.
Yeah.
Hey, your win stream
No.
in Auburn went out.
No, listen, there's somebody in this group that keeps talking trash about their fan base is better than Auburn's. But clearly, we pack out 87,000 people every weekend, and y'all can barely fill a stadium. I don't understand how you can say that y'all have a better fan base than us. Yeah, you know who I'm talking to.
You're crazy as hell.
How many games?
You're crazy as
How
hell.
many
buddy.
games did you? How many games did you?
Are you
Please, somebody
serious?
take a
How many
screenshot
games
of
have you?
that.
How
That's
many
the
games
funniest
have
thing
you
I've ever
sold
seen.
out? How many games have you sold out this year? Auburn's complete season sold out. You can't even buy a ticket, and we ain't even snapped the football.
But you didn't say what sport, buddy. I mean, Kentucky will fill up a stadium. They'll travel anywhere over Auburn.
We
Point
sold out.
blank.
We sold out a season.
Kentucky
we
will
sold,
fill.
we
Kentucky
sold
can
out
fill up a-
basketball. We sold out basketball this year. We sold out football this year. I mean, what else do you want to talk about? We not even bounced the basketball or
not
thrown the
tough
football,
selling out a
and we don't even got a
9,000
ticket.
And that's not tough selling out an arena that holds 9,000 people. My God. My
Hey,
God.
you us. Arkansas
Yeah.
ain't been nothing since
right.
my great granddaddy. I ain't got time
All
to
right,
hear about
kids.
Arkansas.
Oh.
Can we all get to you in a minute? Okay, we're almost to the point where we're gonna let you close us out. So, Ken, you have a lot to say, man. You do for an
I do.
Auburn fan.
He's
I do
I do.
for real.
Big
I'm
Blue
gonna say
Nation.
this. When I close this out today, I love you, Wes. You're a dear friend of mine, but it is something that needed to come off of Auburn's chest, and I'm the only one that has the balls to do it. I did it Tuesday night, and I'm gonna close it out tonight because it still don't settle. It's still not
Okay,
settling
Ken,
well
Ken.
with me.
Ken, hold on.
And
So,
Kenny's final comment is sponsored
Yeah.
by Rogaine.
Rogan,
Go ahead and shave it off or
Yeah.
Rogaine.
so look, so as we prepared to close off the show today, we just want to say thank you guys for liking us, for watching us. We're part of Dogs College Media Network. So guys, thank you guys so much for everybody that has came on for the comments and all of this. And I think everybody's just been waiting to hear what Ken's goals would be. He's act like he's going to a boxing match. And he's gonna walk into a ring. So we're gonna give Ken the floor for 1 minute and let him close us out. You got 1 minute, Ken. You already
It's gonna
said
take a
enough.
little more than a minute, but I gotta finish this. So
Okay,
I
go.
ran this Tuesday night, and I'm ranting it again. Alabama, you started this first. You just need to keep Auburn's name out of your mouth. Here's what you did: 2011. Reuben Foster went and got an Auburn tattoo. Our fans were bad mouthing him. Nick Saban used our words against him to flip him. That's once. You did it once. Not only did you do it once, you did it twice. You took the words that Auburn said about Kool-Aid McKinstry and the stuff he was doing and used them against us to flip it. The same day he flipped, he was at a Nick Saban car lot with a brand new Dodge Charger. Now you want to get on Auburn's tail because Hugh Freeze went against Alabama and used their own words against them to get Perry Thompson. Here's my problem. Whoever Bear Bryant Burner is, the man's been dead for years. Stay up off of it. Get rid of the account. It ain't no good. But you stated in your thing that Nick Saban made Perry Thompson. I beg to differ. Nick Saban ain't made nobody. Nick Saban is a coach. Let me explain to you something about Perry Thompson. He's earned the 5-star recruit, top 30 player in the nation. Why? He goes to Foley, Alabama, the same place that Julio Jones went to. But here's the problem I have with all of y'all. He broke every Julio Jones record in 3 years at Foley when it took Julio 4. The kid still got to play his senior season at Foley. But Alabama fans want to sit here and keep bad-mouthing Auburn because we did to y'all what y'all did to us. Best thing I can say is, Mama always told me, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Now that the tables are turning, y'all Alabama fans don't like it. Best thing I can do is just keep your mouth shut because you did it first.
There you
That's
go.
what I got to say about it.
Your mama should have told you not to mess with your big brother because your big brother will knock you out too.
It just
We'll
like
see,
that.
buddy. We'll see, buddy. But I'm telling you, it don't make no sense to me how Alabama fans, I'm not directing this at Wes, y'all. He is an Alabama fan.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't seem like that type of Alabama fan. But it bothers me that the fan base of Alabama
Yes.
think that they can talk trash about something they did first.
Okay.
We don't think we can talk trash. We've earned the right to talk trash.
Yeah.
And now that Auburn can talk trash, y'all got to party.
Hey,
You
Will,
can't
We
talk
got the
trash.
right to talk trash too.
The kid's never played a down in the SEC. He's a 5-star recruit. The kid also mouthed off and said that Alabama doesn't produce receivers. Hugh Freeze does. I'd like to throw a few stats out to you. Do you know who
Right.
Jalen Waddle is?
Yeah,
First
I do.
round receiver. Do you know who Henry Ruggs is? First round receiver. Do you know who Jerry Jeudy is? First round receiver. Do you know who Devonta Smith is? The only receiver to win the daggum Heisman in the last 30 years. The only player that was not a running back or a quarterback was done by who? Nick Saban. Not to mention Julio Jones. And we can continue to go if you'd like to go, because also we can go back to the receivers at LSU. We can go to Mushin Muhammad at Michigan State. Which school would you like to go where Nick doesn't produce NFL caliber receivers? We're talking about Hall of Fame receivers and possibly the best receivers in the SEC of all time. So
Okay, well,
your recruit
Hold on,
had
Ken.
the nerve to mouth off about Nick Saban. He's never played a down in this league. He's never gone to a practice. He's never even gone to a big boy camp yet. Okay. And yes, he beat Julio's records on many more attempts and an offense that throws the ball a lot more. So if you want to go there, that's fine, because all of the receivers I just named before Julio beat Julio's records too, because we didn't throw the football. We played angry murder ball, and we brought that to your house. We didn't fear the thumb. We didn't fear this finger. So here's the thing. All you got to know is that we're pissed off. Georgia is it right now. Georgia's the elite team. But guess what? You've pissed off Nick. And they've turned around and they've said the dynasty is over. They said the dynasty was over in 2011. They said the dynasty was over in 2015. They said the dynasty was over in 2018. They said it was over in 2020. Do you want to keep betting against him? And do you want to put your life on the line with a guy that was coaching at Liberty last year?
Well, that's it. We're closing out. Nope, Ken, we're closing out
all
on
right,
that.
one more thing
Nope,
to say to Wes.
that's it.
Close
We're
it.
closing out. We could be here all day. So thank you guys. I appreciate
Oh.
that. I guess that's a hot, fiery way. I tell you what, when football season actually starts, it's going to be fun. So Kenny, I hope you got your checkbook. because I hope your guys back it up because you seem really passionate about what you're talking about. But hey, thank you. Thank you so much for watching Second to None. We really appreciate you guys taking the time to be with us today. Follow us, subscribe on Facebook. We have a Facebook group called SEC Second to None. You can catch us on YouTube, on Twitter. So just thank you guys once again. Hey, gentlemen, thank all you guys for coming out, helping out during the show today. As always, I appreciate everything you guys do. Thanks for being happy, Ken. I appreciate that. That's probably the best way to put it. But thank you guys, and we will see you guys next week.
Roll
Take
Tide,
care, guys.
Paul.
Thanks for having me.
Boy, damn eagle.